WP Chief Pritam Singh giving evidence before the Committee of Privileges but leaving some unanswered questions. Doing Singapore proud on the world stage, Miss Singapore Nandita Banner makes it to the top 16 of Miss Universe. And the Straits Times is auctioning its very own non-fungible tokens or NFTs for charity. Bidding starts next week. Good evening, you're watching The Big Story with me, Haryanto Dimana. You can subscribe to the Straits Times channel so you never miss a single episode. Large electricity users in Singapore, like shopping malls, will be cushioned from the recent volatility in the electricity market under a new scheme that will allow them to buy electricity at fixed rates. Announced by the Energy Market Authority today, the new temporary electricity contracting support scheme will allow these users to pay for electricity at a rate capped at 39.7 cents per kilowatt hour. This fixed price contract will be valid for the month of January 2022 but could be extended if there's demand in the months ahead. Science and Environment correspondent Audrey Tan discusses how much the scheme will help these large consumers.
So large electricity users refer to energy consumers that consume about 4,000 kilowatt hours of electricity every month, and that is about 10 times the rate that an average 4-room HDB flat uses. So currently for these users, they can only buy electricity through two means, through the wholesale market where the prices fluctuate every half an hour, or through fixed price contracts by retailers. So with the new scheme, EMA says that it will help large electricity users who are finding it difficult to renew their contracts with electricity retailers for the next 3 months, and it will also help to reduce their exposure to the volatility in the electricity price market. So under this new scheme, they would be able to buy electricity at fixed rates of up to 39.7 cents per kilowatt hour. And this means that they can just constantly pay for electricity at this rate instead of being exposed to the half an hour changes of the electricity market. So one thing for sure is that this scheme will create more price certainty for consumers, for large electricity consumers.
Two more special reports released this past weekend from the Committee of Privileges hearings into the complaint against former Workers' Party MP RAEESAH. These included testimonies from Party Vice Chairman Faisal Manap as well as WP Secretary General Pritam Singh. In a 9-hour hearing last Friday, Mr Singh told the committee that Ms Han's account of the WP leaders telling her to take the information to the grave is a complete lie. Here's an excerpt from his exchange with Culture, Community and Youth Minister Edwin Tong.
Let me tell you that this is sent on a group chat where Mr Nathan and Ms Low are also present.
I understand.
And she says, "Hey guys, I just met with Pritam, Sylvia and Faisal and we spoke about the Muslim issues and the police accusation. I told them what I told you guys and they've agreed that the best thing to do is to take the information to the grave. They also suggested that I write a statement to send out this evening." Now, I know you have not seen this message contemporaneously, meaning at that time, but now you've seen her recollection of the meeting that she sent out contemporaneously. Would this be accurate?
It would be highly inaccurate. It is a complete lie.
Let's break down this statement. First of all, there was a meeting on the 8th of August.
Absolutely.
Which ended shortly before this message was sent at 12:41 p.m., correct?
I would think so.
From your recollection?
Probably.
Okay. And she then steps out and she sends a message with 4 sentences. The first says, "I just met with Pritam, Sylvia and Faisal." That's correct, right? The second is that we spoke about Muslim issues and a police accusation. That's also correct, right?
That is correct.
The third sentence, "I told them what I told you guys and they've agreed that the best thing to do is to take the information to the grave." The second half of that sentence, you would disagree with, I assume.
Yeah, because I don't know what the first half of the sentence is and the second half is a complete lie.
Okay. The third, the final sentence, they also suggested that I write a statement to send out this evening is correct, right?
It is correct.
So, most of this message is correct, but her recollection of what she was told to do by the three of you as a result of the lie is inaccurate.
Absolutely. I
Okay.
would go much further than inaccurate.
Okay, can I ask you why you think Ms. Khan might lie like this, emerging from a meeting with you?
Okay. I know something which she revealed to the Workers' Party disciplinary panel on the 29th of November, which is quite telling to me. And she told the panel that she suffers from disassociation. Now, it was the first time I heard of it. I asked her what disassociation was. She said it's when I talk without thinking. And I asked her, don't you think that's dangerous for an MP? And she said yes. So I'm not bringing this up to suggest anything untoward. All I'm suggesting is it may be helpful for this committee to call for some psychiatric report or evaluation on Ms. Khan. I say that only with the knowledge of what she shared with me on the 29th of November. Could it be a lie to me? It's possible, but
Yes.
if we're talking about culpability and how much and proportionality, I think it may be helpful.
Here to further unpack the latest committee hearings is senior political correspondent Tham Yuen-C. Welcome back to the show, Yuen-C. Yuen-C, WP Chief Pritam Singh and the party's Vice Chairman Faisal Manap were called in front of the Committee of Privileges late last week. What were the top three issues that came out of those hearings?
Hi, Haryanto. So many people were waiting to hear from the WP leaders, even though the party had already held a press conference on December 2nd. And I think the Committee of Privileges hearings has definitely shed more light on the saga, though there are still many unanswered questions. So one of the top issues that emerged, of course, is that the party leaders have categorically denied ever asking Ms. Khan to lie. When she went before the committee on December 2nd and 3rd, she told the committee that Mr. Singh, Mr. Faisal, and WP Chair Sylvia Lim had asked her to continue with the narrative she started in Parliament. She also provided a WhatsApp message to back up her claim. It was a message she had sent to her WP colleagues to update them on what was said shortly after she met the three party leaders on August 8th. And I think in the message, she said that the leaders had asked her to take the information to the grave. Mr. Singh has said that this is a complete and utter fabrication. He also told the committee that Ms. Khan may have lied in the WhatsApp message because she suffers from dissociation, which makes one disconnected from reality. He suggested that the committee should send her for psychiatric evaluation. Another thing that has come up is that they seem to have taken no steps at all to get her to correct her false statements from August to October. In fact, I believe Mr. Faisal's exact words were zero and nothing when he was asked if the WP leaders had actually questioned Ms. Khan about the lie or told her what to do about it on August 8th. The two party leaders also confirmed that they did not meet up among themselves or with Ms. Khan to discuss the matter after that meeting all the way until October. There's some suggestion that she had suffered great trauma from her sexual assault, so they didn't want to push her. But also, while the WP leaders have acknowledged that lying in Parliament cannot be tolerated, they ultimately may have felt that Ms. Khan's lie was not all that serious in terms of its impact on the police. This is another of the issues that the hearing has shed light on. Mr. Singh had a testy exchange with Minister Edwin Tong over, this issue about how the lie harmed the police or not. And I think Mr. Singh made it very clear that in his view, it didn't harm the police that much since Ms. Khan did not manage to substantiate her allegations that, the police had been insensitive to a sexual assault victim.
Yuen-C, you said some things are still left unanswered. What is still left unanswered? And on that, who else is expected to speak?
Well, I guess the biggest question, that is not answered is who is telling the truth. Ms. Khan does not have much credibility since she was the one who lied in the first place. And many people have questioned her version of events. They're saying she lied in the first place. So why should we believe her now? that she's saying these things in front of the Committee of Privileges. And yet it is quite inexplicable that the WP leaders did nothing at all about a lie that their MP told in Parliament, to the point of not even asking Ms. Khan any questions about it at the August 8 meeting, and not even meeting among themselves to discuss the issue. Because it's one thing to be concerned for Ms. Khan's well-being, but it's not unreasonable to expect that they would have met among themselves to discuss the matter, given how much damage this could do to the party. The committee has said that they will also be calling Ms. Lim and Associate Professor James Lim, who is an MP at Sengkang GRC, which Ms. Khan was a part of before she resigned. But I'm not keeping my fingers crossed that the question will be answered, since it's become a bit of a he said, she said thing. And there doesn't seem to be much documentation in terms of phone messages or emails from either side to prove what they've said.
Yuen-C, with everything that has happened, does this chain of events expose possible rifts within WP presently and in the future?
Certainly, some members have been rather critical of the party leadership online, such as former non-constituency MP Daniel Goh, and the two WP members, Loh Pei Ying and Yudhishthira Nathan, who testified before the committee, also seem to be less than happy with the party leaders' handling of the issue. But since not everyone has given their testimony, I feel like it's too early to tell how the party members will react eventually.
Thank you for the insights. Tham Yuen-C, the Straits Times' senior political correspondent. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong saying today that while Singapore is not out of the woods yet, it is confident that it can cope with the Omicron variant because thanks to vaccinations and boosters, Singapore is in a much stronger position today to deal with COVID-19, with boosters a key part of the strategy to tackle Omicron. PM Lee was speaking at the launch of the CDC vouchers scheme. Last Friday, the Health Ministry announced that from tomorrow, the nationwide booster program would also be extended to those 18 to 29 years old, and that vaccination for children aged 5 to 11 years would begin before the end of the year. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization says early data on Omicron shows that while it causes less severe symptoms than the Delta strain, it reduces vaccine efficacy. It is also more transmissible. As at December 9th, Omicron has spread to 63 countries. But WHO stresses that a lack of data meant that it couldn't determine if the rate of transmission was because Omicron was less prone to immune responses, higher transmissibility, or combination of both. It seems travelers are less fearful of Omicron with fewer cancelling their flights. But while cancellation rates are declining, they are still higher than before Omicron was identified, which was at about 28%. Air travel analytics firm Forward Keys tells the Straits Times that bookings into Singapore was at 41% as at December 8th. For outbound flight bookings, cancellations peaked at 48% on November 30th and has since dipped to 42%. There's a first time for everything. Well, this year, the Straits Times is auctioning a column and 3 art illustrations as non-fungible tokens or NFTs. And the proceeds are going to a good cause, the ST School Pocket Money Fund. Let's have a look at what's for sale. First up, an infographic on a guide on cryptocurrencies by ST artist Cheng Chun Hyong. The second is an illustration titled Bullish Bitcoin by ST artist Deng Koi Miel. Then there is this, The Permanence of Cats by ST artist Manuel Francisco. It's a visual parody of Salvador Dali's painting The Persistence of Memory. Last but certainly not least, a column by opinion editor Grace Ho about this very auction. The auction runs from December 22nd to the 28th. And Grace is here to tell us all about it. Welcome, Grace. Grace, ST has never auctioned NFTs before. So why now?
Well, there are two reasons. First, and more importantly, to raise money for a good cause. The last 2 years of COVID-19 have been especially difficult for lower income families in Singapore, and any extra help will go a long way. So the proceeds from this auction will go to the Straits Times School Pocket Money Fund. Second, we have written extensively on the world of cryptocurrencies and blockchains. And over the past year, we discussed the gyrations in Bitcoin prices. We talked about NFTs promises and pitfalls. And we also explained to our readers whether it's safe to invest in cryptocurrencies. The one thing that we hadn't done was to actually experience the metaverse for ourselves firsthand. So in the process of minting our own NFTs, working out the legal issues, sorting out the backend processes, we hope to educate ourselves as well as our readers in the pros and cons of NFTs. And to help us do this, we worked with the Blockchain Association of Singapore and the law firm Drew & Napier.
Grace, I might know a few people who would be very interested. How do they bid for the NFTs?
Well, I think the easiest way would be to go to the Blockchain for Good website at singaporenft.org, which has a detailed set of instructions on how the auction works. This includes the bidder's legal rights, how to set up your crypto wallet, instructions on the Know Your Customer onboarding. This basically means verifying your identity when you register an account and how to bid for the items. You also have to connect what is called MetaMask to the NFT platform in order to register an account. This is a crypto wallet software that interacts with the blockchain. The auction actually opens on December 22nd, which is next Wednesday. But operationally, the reason we are announcing it about a week before the auction is so that people have the time to work out how to set up their wallets and link them to the platform. And they can also spend the next 1 week browsing the artworks on the website. It'll be great fun.
Thank you, Grace. The Straits Times' opinion editor, Grace Ho. For more on how the auction works, go to singaporenft.org, where you'll find detailed instructions, including how to set up your wallet, complete your KYC, onboarding, and bid for the items. And doing us proud, 21-year-old Miss Universe Singapore, Nandita Banner, making it into the top 16 of the competition, the first time a Singaporean has made it that far in 34 years. Well, she's currently a third-year double degree student at Singapore Management University. Congratulations, Nandita. Well done. Visit straitstimes.com for more news and our YouTube channel for more videos. Remember to subscribe by hitting the red button below. I'm Haryanto Diman. See you tomorrow on The Big Story.